In today's video, we're going to show you how to laser engrave and cut Trolase Lights material. It's a great way to create stickers. And remember, subscribe to the channel. The material we're using today is Trolase Lights, and it's available from the Trotec Materials website. You can see I've got the order number on the screen. I've listed out some specifications for the Trolase Lights materials. It's also available from Romark. These items are great for doing the back of medallions or stickers for any other types of materials. You can see that I've got a couple of samples here on the screen, material data plates, or stickers for trophies, or even stickers for plaques.
One of the more popular areas that we use the light material would be for people that are looking to do medallions. The problem with the Trolase thins, which could be used for the medallions, it really depends on the thickness of the material you want on the back. But the Trolase lights are better for medallion because typically they're just a sticker. So they're very thin, they're gold, they're easy to work with, and if you don't have a large ribbed area on the outside, then they conform to the medallion a lot easier than Trolase thins. So normally I like to use a light material for this. A lot of people use the sticker material for other things, for sticking on the side of tumblers and a whole bunch of different applications. But the nice thing about them, they're like normal plastic, they're engravable, and then we can cut them out. Again, as we did with the Trolase thins, when I cut these out, I don't want to go all the way through the backing, because the problem is if I go through the backing, then if I cut them all the way out, then I got to sit there and try to peel the backing paper off the material, and it's really difficult. So a lot of times, if I can kind of get through the thin material and then not go through the adhesive back, then it's a lot easier for me these will release a lot easier, off the backing paper. Again, the most critical thing is to make sure our powers are right, the material is flat, so that we don't have any issues where we're out of focus to a certain degree, and then the powers are going to be the same on versus a flat area or an area that might be a little warped. So again, we'll take a look at how to do this. I'm going to set this up in CorelDarw, and I'll run it through Ruby. You can run it through Job Control easily enough too. Either way is fine. I'll show you how to do this, and it's quite quick. Setup I put into CorelDarw here, just a logo with some text, and the reason the logo is there is just so that we get a better idea that, because normally we're not just, we might be putting a logo. You could have a stock medallion that you want to put some custom logo on the front. So I thought I would just kind of do some text and some sort of a logo. Just created this pretty quickly on the web, and then easy to go. So again, I've got something set up here. If I select this object, you'll notice that it's not 2 inches, so I'm going to consider this to be a 2-inch medallion that I'm going to put this on. So I'm going to have to put a cutout circle here that's going to be 2 inches on the product, and again, that's quite simple to do. So again, I've got the logo here. Let's just do a cut line. I'm going to hold the Control key down. I'm going to draw an ortho concentric circle here, and that circle needs to be 2 inches. So it's all scaled up. It needs to be red for cut. So once I've got it selected, I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to right click on the red color on my RGB palette here, and you'll notice that my red line is so all I need to do now is take this, and I'm going to select this one. So I'm just going to hold the Shift key down, and I've got both of them, and then I'm going to go C and then E, and again that will center everything together on with my logo and the cutout. Now I just need to get this into my proper location. which is going to be up in the top left-hand corner, and then I'm going to just duplicate it right across. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to I'm going to be working from the origin, object origin, and this is the middle handle. So this is the handle that's in the middle. You notice here I've got 8 rectangles here, and those are basically my selection handles, and my 9th one is in the middle here. And I'm going to be measuring from that middle. So if I want this to come up here and I want to be right on the edge, then I can do that. And let's just put this at, 2 inch on the X. All I need to do is make this 1 and press enter. And then the next one here is going to be 11, because it's 12 minus 1, which is 11, right? 12 minus 1, and we're at 11. Press enter, and my job is right at the top here. Now again, I'm right on the edge of the ruler here, so I don't really need to worry about that on this system. But again, you know, sometimes if your rulers aren't exactly right, you don't want to be etching into the ruler, so you may offset this a little bit. And if you did that, you may want to take this, make this a little bit smaller than 2 inches, so you maximize your material. But again, I'll just do it this way. I need to duplicate this now, and that's quite easy to do. I'm going to go to Windows, Docker, and I'm going to go to Transform. And if I zoom out here, let's go Shift F4. And you can see I've duplicated out here, and I want this to be, I'm working with 2 inches, so I want this to be 2 on the X. I want a relative positional move, meaning that I'm moving 2 inches from the middle. This is the relative position here right now, right? Because that's where it's figuring it out right here. So I want to move 2 inches. I want to go 1 copy. And now I've got a second one. And now all I have to do is go, I could theoretically go apply and go all the way across. I could put in the appropriate numbers if I knew what it was, or I could just go Control D. And I'm just hitting the Control D all the way across. And you can see I'm basically right on the edge here. So I'm ready to go. Now that these have been done that way, I can take these and I can duplicate them down. So I've got a whole row done now, and now I just need to do the next set of rows. And that's quite easy to do. All I'm going to do is make this 0. And my Y direction is going to be -2, because I'm coming down the table, so I have to select a minus there. And again, I'm just going to do 1 copy. I'm going to apply, and then apply, or I can go Control D, Control D, or I could have just said, in the initial one, we'll just do 5 copies, and it would have done all 5 rows, and it would have had all the rows, 6 rows would have been done. So I've got my multiple done, and I'm ready to go. If I was sending this to job control, then it's really just a matter of file, print. If I go print, the menu will come up. And then I will select job control in my printer setting here, which I've already got set. In this case, I'm just going to import it right into Ruby and function it that way, which is perfectly, we can do that easily enough. I'm going to cancel this, and then I'm going to send it over. I'm going to save the job, and then I'm going to import it into Ruby and then run it from there. Now that we saved the job in CorelDarw, let's open it up into Ruby, and then we'll send it over to the laser machine. To do that, all I need to do is be in the design section here, and I'm going to go into the import function and double click on that. Take a second for it to load up. Double click. And our job is ready to go. And all I need to do now is just create the job. And we're ready to go.
Now that we've created our job, all we need to do now is assign the power and speed settings, and then we will send the job to the queue. If you look at my material section over here on the right hand side, you can see that I have standard glass selected. I'm going to select the material setting for Trolase Lights. Again, you can see that it's right at the top of the screen here, but I can actually search it out if I want. I can just type in a word and it'll search for it. I've got Trolase Lights here. I'm going to select Trolase Lights and then click it again, and you can see that now all the colors are active. If I click into the down arrow here in version 2.10, you'll notice that the actual material settings comes up on the screen, and this is so much easier than it was in previous versions. You can see that I've got my settings already set up here. I've got a power of 30, speed of 100, and my DPI is 500. The Z offset is 0.04, and this will give me a nice black image. This is where I go out of focus. My cut settings are 12 power, 3 speed, and I've got a frequency of 2000. You'll notice the speed is 3. Some people may think this is fairly slow, but it's actually very, very fast. If I click on the Advanced tab here, that my path planning is throughput, which gives me the fastest speeds. My air assist is on, and my power correction is 10. I've already got this set up, so I'm just going to cancel this. And you'll notice that my settings are now active. I'm going to send the job to the queue. And if I go to the produce screen, you'll notice that the job has now been loaded into the queue. All I need to do now is just send the job over to the laser machine. If you have it run on Ruby machine, the job will already be on the computer.
I'm just going to take the material off the bed here. And let's take a look at one of the pieces here. We'll just do this one right here. We can actually, first of all, let's look. You can kind of see, again, the back. You can just barely see it. It's probably not as easy to see it on the camera as it is in my eyes, but you can see that there's some indentations there. So again, if I bring this over, let's just take a look at this one right here. I'm just going to bend this a little bit. I'm going to see there, I've broken the seal, and again, there we go. So you can see that my image is very good. And the nice thing about it is that I got a nice clean break, and again, I can just go and stick that right on the medallion, or if this was putting this on a tumbler or whatever, it's already done and basically ready to go. So if I go and take another one, again, there's another one right here. Again, I can just peel that one off, and there we go. Already perfect job. So again, very, very easy. Once we get the proper power and speeds, this is so important.